thing. I just have a few, the normal bookkeeping, and then we'll get to the other people who are up here, and then we'll get to the agenda. But I got a couple of things that I've been told to talk about. So first off, as you know, we're always trying to get people to fill out the survey. Well, this time we have a survey, and it's sponsored by the Dine Incorporated, and there's a giveaway drawing on Tuesday morning. So make sure you take the survey from the Nanog Wi-Fi, because I guess MAC addresses to authentication to people. That's one thing. So do that. Fill out the survey anyway. We need the feedback for the program. Sign up for informal BOFs. The registration desk there's a kind of a poster board thing out there, and there's a slot open on Tuesday. So if you and your colleagues want to get together and talk about anything that is of interest to you that we didn't cover on the agenda, there's a space for you. There's a vendor collaboration room down on the 4th floor. It's going to open up at 12. It'll be open 12 to 5, and it'll also be open on Tuesday and Wednesday morning. So please check that out. Also tonight, beer and gear at 6, and then there's a social that's hosted by Data Foundry and Giganews, our sponsors, after that. So that's all cool. What we're going to do here is Bob Stovall is gonna give us the merit report, and then Ed and Ron are going to have a few words to say. But before we do that, most of you, or many of you, know that this is Betty Burke's last Nanog as Nanog Program Director or Coordinator for Merit. And I think that we ought to just take a minute to recognize all that she's done for us and for our community over the last 6 or more years. So let's, give her a hand. She's really... Thank you, Betty. I think you can tell you're appreciated. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob. Now, before I do that, I just want to say we're going to have this network neutrality panel this morning, and we've been trying to do this for several Nanogs, and it was really a difficult one to bring together. So it came together with the hard work of a lot of people, and I think it's going to be really interesting. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So I think the morning is going to be exciting, and there'll be a lot of food for thought. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning. Don Welch, Merit's president and CIO, regrets that he could not attend Nanog 48, and on his behalf, I'd like to welcome all of you for attending this fine venue here in Austin. The program committee, again, has put together a wonderful agenda for us to learn and to communicate with each other. As you know, Nanog is a core part of Merit's mission. Not-for-profits like Merit gain and keep their status based on their mission. As most of you know, Merit is a long-time service provider, which is only part of our mission. The other part of our mission is knowledge transfer and community building. So as you can see, building a community of Internet professionals so that they can share knowledge is one of the reasons why we exist. Merit, and I believe that Nanog is very important to us. I believe that Merit can support Nanog better than any other organization, and that we are committed to doing so. Merit and its staff is committed to providing support and helping Nanog provide vital part of our community. I would now like to take the opportunity to thank the program committee, the steering committee, and the communications committee, and the Merit staff for again putting together a great agenda and program for us this week. Without their help, this couldn't be possible. I would also like to thank our host Giganews and Data Foundry for providing much needed local support. At this time, Nanog and Merit would like to present Ed Henigin of Giganews and Ron Yokubaitis of Data Foundry a token of our appreciation and support and providing to our community. Thank you.
So Ed, you're up. I'm still confused about what version of Ubuntu this is. I don't know how to operate this thing. What is it? See, he does.
It's not a Mac, so he can't, whatever.
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to Austin. I'm Ed Henigin. I'm with Giganews. I'm also with Data Foundry, but it's not important. I am so pleased that you guys could all make it here. Registration was great. Turnout's great this time. NANOG meetings are an important opportunity for us to get together. We need to see each other once in a while. We have to maintain our connections. We have to share information with each other. We had great tutorials yesterday. We've got an agenda that's really packed over the next few days. Giganews and Data Foundry, we feel it's very important to support this gathering for the people who literally run the internet in North America. Sometimes I get chills about all the cool people who are out here. The journey of NANOG to Austin began about a year and a half ago. It seems like a long time ago, but it really wasn't all that hard for us to do it. The crew at Meyer, they really know what they're doing. They make it really easy to host. As an example, we had a bi-weekly status meeting, and this status meeting, which I thought was going to suck up all my time, it almost never went over 15 minutes. So 15 minutes every couple weeks for a couple months, it really wasn't a big deal. I really want to thank Betty and Carol, Betty Burke and Carol Wadsworth. They really know what they're doing, and the rest of the crew at Merit, they're just spot on. We have a lot of registrations from Texas and a lot of first-time attendees, so I think overall this is it's already been worth it. We hope the conference is worth it to you too, and we hope that you get to see some of the cool sites that are available in Austin. We've got some unique things around here that we hope you enjoy. A benefit of hosting is that I get a few minutes to welcome you and say a few words about something that I think is important. I want to talk about an issue that's getting a lot of attention right now and highlight an aspect that I'm concerned is not getting the attention it deserves. I've been involved in the whole internet thing for about 2 decades. I was on Usenet, IRC, email, and Gopher back in 1990 when I started college. It is staggering how rich and diverse the internet has become over the past 2 decades. The internet serves to connect us in so many ways. We physically come to the meetings, like NANOG, to make personal connections. But we use the internet to maintain those connections and to do so much more. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous about losing the open internet. And I'm nervous about losing control over my private information as a simple precondition for being part of this amazing world. So net neutrality is obviously the huge issue today. The opening presentation right after this is going to be a panel on net neutrality. Proponents of net neutrality, or the net neutrality concept, say that it would preserve the end-to-end principle and it would keep backbones and ISPs from picking which applications, technologies, or even individual companies were going to be the winners and losers. But opponents to net neutrality say, well, how do we manage our network? If you shove this down our throats, we have important things to do. And it might even stifle innovation when the innovation happens at the network level. No less than the federal government is actively interested in this topic. I guess I'm not alone in feeling nervous about the whole thing. John Piha from the FCC is scheduled to be on the net neutrality panel coming up in a few minutes. I mean, this is a big deal. We've got some horsepower here. There's an angle that I feel is very important in the whole debate that I feel like I need to highlight. But first, you should understand that the FCC is proposing a new net neutrality rule which would require non-discriminatory practices. Under the proposed rule, network providers would not be allowed to discriminate against any application, content, or service except in the case of, quote, reasonable network management. This would allow even some copyright filtering and prioritizing of, quote, managed services. Sounds good, right? Maybe this will maintain end-to-end, but at the same time let network operators run their network the way they need to. Reasonable people might argue around it, but the basic idea sounds pretty sound, right? Am I still nervous? Yeah, I am nervous. What about privacy? The non-discriminatory rule supported by net neutrality advocates and the FCC's exceptions could end up destroying privacy. Implementing the non-discriminatory rule would require ISPs to look at and identify specific content and applications. Implementing network management would require ISPs to look at and identify specific content and applications. Non-discrimination and network management both require invasive, deep packet inspection. Is this the open internet? The rules could end up inappropriately regulating in other areas than the internet access bottleneck. I think both sides miss the point. It's not just the ability to innovate that has allowed the internet to succeed so well. It is also the private and confidential nature of our communications. Individuals and businesses trust that the content of their communications, our communications, will remain secure. Privacy has helped establish the internet as a forum for free expression, free exploration of ideas, as well as many other fundamental liberties. The FCC and access providers are both advocating an option that destroys privacy and confidentiality. So I'm going to leave you with some questions. Does the proposed net neutrality solution require inspection of content in order to enforce non-discrimination? Does network management involve inspection of content? If there is inspection, and particularly if it is disclosed, doesn't that eliminate any expectation of privacy that you might have on the internet? How can we achieve the goals of non-discrimination, reasonable network management, and ubiquitous access without destroying privacy? Or are we going to need encryption on top of encryption, inside of encryption, in order to maintain the open internet? I'd like for you to keep these questions in mind as you're listening to the following proceedings. I don't want privacy to be the innocent bystander that becomes the innocent victim in everything that we do. Thank you. And please join us for a big party tonight at Cedar Street Courtyard. We've got a great band, Spasmatics. If you've never heard of them before, Google them. They're great.
Thank you, Ed. Bob?
Or less. Okay. I hope y'all can hear me. Great to follow Ed. I'm Ron Yokubaitis, and I'm co-CEO with my wife Carolyn of Giganews, Data Foundry, and some other stuff. We started a ISP down in San Antonio in '94 called Texas.net. Some of y'all may remember. Some of the folks in the room started out working for them, Ed included, and we just tried to bring a lot of the unwashed to the open internet. And of course, then we ran a lot of other things, and but we evolved into running data center business, which is Data Foundry. We run data centers, own and operate them in Austin, Houston. And the Usenet business through Giganews, which is a worldwide business. Even Avi still runs, Avi Friedman still running some Usenet servers and pumping over 100 gigabits of NNTP traffic somewhere around the world. Even got him a little stuff over in Amsterdam. And these days, we do more NNTP traffic in Europe than we do in slow band North America. So there's a big world out there. We're able to do things in Amsterdam through the marvelous Amsterdam Internet Exchange that we only dreamed about here in the United States. But nevertheless, so I remember a few years ago at RIPE, listening to Randy Bush talk about IPv6, and I asked him, I noticed you're really not porting it to NNTP. And he said, NNTP? God, I think I remember that. 1995, isn't it? Well, you've got NNTP Usenet from Giganews coming over this IPv6 V6 network that Time Warner's helped us out on here. So Usenet's keeping on surfing. The original internet is still around and carrying a lot of traffic and growing. We now have active customers paying us subscription revenue in over 170 countries. So we keep clusters network in North America, East, West, Texas, Europe, and in Asia. So there's another network. The internet is the network of networks. I want to also say, hosting this, we're not big companies, and so the structure that Merit gives you really helps you out. So I want to thank the Merit folks. This is, it really makes it so if any of y'all's companies or y'all are the one that would do this, Merit can really help you. And then someone like the folks at Comcast gave us a tremendous amount of comfort. Ren Provo, Barry T-shirt, and the crew just backed us up and were very generous and would answer any question and share their experience putting this stuff on. So they don't know how much that helped. So listen, welcome to Austin, welcome to Texas. It's got a lot of secret treasures, as some of y'all finding out. It's not all flat desert with no trees, no matter what they say in Hollywood, because they don't make their films in Texas. They make them over in the Mojave Desert of California, where it is flat desert with no trees. But this is Texas, and my wife and I ranch a little out in far west Texas, where on the ranch the altitude's 3,000 to 4,000 feet, so we're getting close to Denver. Some of our neighbors are up there above Denver. But listen, it's all here from high tech. The Chisholm Trail is that freeway right out there called I-35, and it runs up to Round Rock where Michael Dell is, and Round Rock is a crossing on the Chisholm Trail, and it's the big round rock in the creek. So this is Texas, and this is Austin, and we just hope you have a great time and some great conference, and welcome, and thank you, everybody.
One more time, thanks to our sponsors. It's very cool that they're doing this for us, so thank you, guys. All right, so